We are now going to change the control panel out on the ES1000. If you'll take your unit, turn it around to the back, go ahead and flip it up on its top, make it easier on you. First thing I'm going to do is make sure it's unplugged, of course. And then there'll be a clip down at the bottom. Now you've got it turned upside down, it's got 2 screws in it. You need to take that clip out, that's a whole clip. Once you get that clip out and off, there'll be 4 gold screws up next to where your wheels are, which now will be on the top. You need to take those 4 screws out. There's one beside each wheel. When you get those out, you can actually just take your unit and pull, and it'll come out of the casing. Now, once you got it out of the casing, turn the unit back up right towards you, and then you'll see where your buttons are is your control panel. All those buttons running across through there. There's 4 screws in each corner of that control panel. You need to take those screws out. But before you do that, before you take your screws all the way out, it's going to be much easier on you if you'll get you some black tape. Take that black tape, tear you off a piece, and tape it all the way across those silver buttons that you see there on the front of your unit. The reason that we're going to do that is when we take this control panel apart, that way the buttons don't fall out, and it's going to be much easier for you to put it in when you put it back. And after you've done that, go ahead and take your screws all the way out, all 4 of them all the way out of your control panel. Okay, once you get the screws out, the 4 screws in the corner, you can actually take that front panel off now, and then the control board's going to be looking at you. Now this is going to be a good time for you to get you a piece of paper or a memo pad and write down these wires on the right side. As you can see, it goes green, white, black. Green starting at the top, and then white and black. You're going to want to pull them wires off. These wires are on there tight for a reason. Just gently pull those apart. Once you get those apart, on the other side, there's going to be 2 red wires. You simply just unplug those wires, and then you're ready to put your new one in. Now, when we send this to you, your control panel to you, it's actually going to be wrapped up in the plastic just like this. Just go ahead and unwrap that. Take it and separate your top from your bottom, and then you'll be ready to put it back on. Now again, you're going to go back to your notepad and look. You're going to go green at the top, white in the middle, and then your black wire will go on the bottom. Just like that. Now on the other side, those 2 red wires, they got little white clips on the end of them. They'll only go in one way. One is bigger than the other. Your biggest one will go on the left side, far side. The little one goes into the inside. Once you have those plugged up, you can take your screw and your faceplate. Remember to get your faceplate back, the one we put tape on. Take and put it back up there, and take your screw and put it in one corner. That's why we tape it, because it's so delicate trying to get it back in. Once you have that screw there, take your spacer, put on the back of that screw, then take it and put it in one corner. Now you're going to barely want to screw that thing in, just enough to hold it so that you can get your other 4 screws back in. Now once you've got that thing started, you can actually take your other screws and your spacers, put them in one at a time, and screw them in. That way your board is mounted back safely to your unit. Once you have all 4 screws back in and tightened securely, you can now take your black electrical tape or whatever tape you may have used and peel it off. That way, test your buttons, make sure they work. They shouldn't have been able to move because of the tape. We're now ready to put our unit back in the case. Just take your case and lay it back down, upside down, of course. Now your heat, where your heat comes out of your unit, where the holes are drilled at the top, you'll want to turn that upside down, just like that. Slide it into the case. Make sure it goes all the way in your case. Then you can take those gold screws that we took out of the top, those 4 gold screws, place them back in, right beside of your wheels. Tighten those up. Once you have those tightened up, take your clip, the little clip we took off first, place it back down, take your screws, screw them back so that your clip is supported to your unit. Now take your unit, turn it back over to its wheels, and you have successfully changed the control panel out on the ES1000.